お役所ってのはお尻の重いところだそうだからね。
The government! When I was thinking that if she didn't see any progress with the scrapbooks, she'd pressure the police by letting them know about the gasoline.
とりあえずは大石さんを信じよう。あとは家宝を待つだけだろ。
そうだね。じゃあさっきの話の続きをするかな。それでね、その寄生虫は長い時間を経るうちに徐々に無害になっていったの。でもそれでは面白くない人たちがいた。それがHinamizawa御三家なの。だから彼らは。
When I was simply telling everyone that what she heard from Takara-san, I started mumbling so I could let Oishi-san know what was going on. No, stop it with the three families. Tell me about the government. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because of my smooth brain lately, but Rena keeps alternating between the families, like the aliens, and apparently now the government too. Like, tell me what entity we should focus on specifically here.
すごい匂いだよな。ガソリンをポリタンク丸々ぶちまけるとすごいもんだ。
I was pretending to mumble to myself, so I could only say it very quietly. I wish I could say it louder, but that was probably impossible. I wasn't sure if Oishi-san could hear me. I thought of an idea to find out whether or not they could hear me.
車のクラクション聞きたいな。
くまちゃん、クラクション一発。
Yeah, they can definitely hear. My guy honked once quickly.
ガソリンとは参ったっすね。これでさっきからなんとなく感じてた匂いの正体が分かりました。多分この後の要求を押し通すための切り札にするつもりでしょうね。
くまちゃん、普通の若い子がポリタンクって言い方をしたら18リットル入りのあれですよね。
さあ、多分。
小宮山君、営林署の人まだ返してないですよね。ちょっと呼んでもらえます？
Yeah, also. This is, like, an off topic right over here. I'm pausing from this moment to talk about this specifically, because I reminded of the forestry service and a mistake that I did before. So, at some point, they were talking about the Okonogi gardeners. Okonogi gardeners. They mentioned it quite plenty, and that was like the main thing that, like, the main moment with Rena, like at the school, and spying on Chie, and, you know, with the Okonogi gardeners that we thought were like a bunch of people in disguise. I don't know, from the secret entity that I was thinking of, or like the Sonozakis. I have no idea how I managed up to this point to not process the name Okonogi, but instead in my mind I read it as Onigafuchi. Like, no matter how many times I said Okonogi, or I may have read it as Onigafuchi instead of Okonogi, I read it as Onigafuchi. No matter how many times, like, the name Okonogi never registered in my mind. Like, it flew past my head every single time. And some people were thinking, interesting, that Noby didn't have like a strong reaction to it. And I know why you're thinking that, because I have read Yumi Neko before Higurashi. So of course I should have had like a strong reaction, because Okonogi is that one dude that Angie talked in chapter 4, in episode 4 of Mineko. So I should have had like a strong reaction. But I didn't, because apparently it flew past my head and I always registered as Onigafuchi gardeners. I guess a couple of reasons for why that happened is because maybe it sounded like, in my mind it sounded similar to Onigafuchi guardians instead of gardeners, so maybe there's also that. And also because I'm having like sleepless nights, ladies and gents, and I'm also like trying to do these recording sessions like really fast, so sometimes I'm gonna miss some stuff. I go on super autopilot at some points when I don't want to. It's I don't know how I managed to make that mistake.
なるほどね。携行缶にはちゃんとガソリンと明記してあると。灯油のポリタンクにも灯油とちゃんと書いてある？
はい。中身を間違えたら大変ですから、すべての燃料容器にはちゃんと明記してあります。
Not too many people know this, but regular portable tanks can't hold gasoline. Gasoline, while common, is extremely flammable, and it can be even with static electricity. Therefore, gasoline must be kept in special metal containers. Those are called carrying cans.
じゃあ前原さんがガソリンって言ったのは間違いなくガソリンなわけだ。携行缶は何リットルのサイズのがあったんですか
？18リットル用と5リットル用の2種類があったと記憶してます。
5リットル用って多分平たい形をしたやつですよね。
ええ。真っ赤で平たくてこう取っ手がついています。
前原圭一はポリタンクという言い方をしましたね。18リットルの方でしょうか。
あるいは見慣れない形だったんで、とりあえず適当な言葉が思いつかずポリタンクという言い方をしたのかもしれない。でもどのみち本当にガソリンだとしたらかなり危険なことになります。
Gasoline burns when lit, but what's an even bigger threat than liquid gasoline are the fumes. When gasoline fumes are lit on fire, they explode. Also, gasoline evaporates easily. Even at freezing temperatures, it evaporates. And so, in other words, inside a closed classroom, the fumes would fill the entire space. The classroom would then become a bomb itself. Jesus freaking Christ.
危険物第4類とかわかる？
いえ、気化ガソリンが危険だってことは理解してるんですが、詳しいことまでは。
18リットルと5リットルで最悪の場合どの程度規模が違うか調べときたいな。そうだ、ジジイに聞いてみよう。署に連絡して鑑識のじい様がいるか聞いてみて。
おうおう、話は聞いちょるぞい。犯人に直接名指しだそうじゃのう。リーチ一発振り込みドカーンってところじゃのう。
裏まで乗っちゃって大変なことになってます。そのドカンってのが実に笑えないですな。ところですいません、危険物の第4種はお持ちで？
おつよんか？ここにいる人間全員足せば公主じゃぞい。どうした？ガソリンでも巻いて籠城しとるんか？
まさにそのようです。人質の一人に盗聴器を持たせてるんですが、どうも犯人は教室内にガソリンを撒いたようなんです。ただ、撒いた量が18リットル缶か5リットル缶かはわかりません。両方のケースのですね、最悪の場合について教えてもらえませんかね。
教室の広さは？
だいたい50平米ですね。
室内は密閉か？
おそらくさぞやガソリン臭いだろうと思います。
おいし、まずいぞい。
やっぱりシャレになりませんか？
教室は粉々に吹っ飛ぶぞい。教室内はまず全員死ぬな。
そりゃ18リットルの場合ですか？
アホ、5リットルの場合じゃ。わしの記憶がボケてないなら 1.8 メートルの室内を吹き飛ばすのに4リットルもあれば十分だったはずじゃ。
The policeman listening to their conversation on the side went pale. 8 by 8 meters meant a room that was 64 square meters. Only 4 liters are needed to blow that up, and at least 5 liters were scattered in a 50 square meter room.
つまり お釣りが来るってことですね。
Jesus Christ. I mean, it was enough that at first I was thinking that Rena's gonna burn the entire school. But, you know, at least when the fire starts, maybe we'd have chance to rescue everybody since the fire would need some time to spread. But no, this is literally a bomb. Rena, what the fuck?
嫌なリーチだな。じゃあ聞きたくはないんですが、18リットルだったら
I mean, is it even necessary? Like the entire school will probably, like, explode.
そうだのう。大石風に例えると、親のリーチ一発ピンフ単陽赤赤ドラドラに振り込む感じかのう。
どういう意味っすか？
親の倍満24000点。配給減点が25000点だから、1000点本は1本残るってことですかね。
そんなところだのう。柱1本くらいは残るかもしれんぞい。
そりゃあ振り込みたくないリーチだな。ね。
Wait, I don't know if this was intentional from Okishi, but if we are talking about the students, since they said that there are like 25, 26 students in total, we're gonna be lucky if there's gonna be like one survivor, at best.
今のうちに消防署に連絡して、化学車両を待機させた方がいいだろうの。事件解決後の処理は消防の指示を仰ぐ必要があるぞい。
Chemical unit? I wonder. Because I did say that maybe Rena is trying to lure somebody specifically. Like the secret entity, like the organization, the people behind everything. What if they are part of the chemical unit? Maybe Rena counted on this, that this specific reaction will lure, like, the people that are very specialized in chemicals and such.
参ったな。こいつは盗聴情報なんで、消防車を呼び寄せたらバレちまうな。
Listen, I'm trying to gather, like good solid information out of Rena's plan over here, because so far Rena is not helping me one bit. This is not bringing me anything new, and if this is gonna end up with everybody exploding without any anything new learning from this, let's just say that I have high hopes on Rena in determining something out of this.
なんとか学校から見えないところに待機させましょう。
それがいいの。あとそれから大石。
ねえ、さっき人質の一人と接触できましてね。その際にこっそりと盗聴器を持たせました。ガソリン散布はそれで分かったんですよ。
まずいの。化学火災の事例で発火原因に電子機器のランプの点灯があったはずだぞい。ガソリンの発火点は300度程度。火花はおろか、静電気でも着火して爆発する。
冗談じゃない。なんだってそんな危険な液体がこうも簡単に世の中にあるんですかね。
知るか。消防法と自動車社会を作った連中に言え。6月だからの。そう空気も乾燥しとらんとは思うが、とにかく万が一に備えて盗聴器の電源を切らせた方がいいだろうの。
大石さん、盗聴器で聞く限り犯人はライターを所持している模様です。
ってことは、つまり前原さんがスプレーを使って静止しようとしても着火までは防げない可能性が大ってわけだ。
Pretty much.
しかも盗聴器まで使えなくなるとは、なんてこった。
大石、ライターはまずいぞ。冗談でもいじらせてはならん。犯人もガソリンの危険性を認知しとらん可能性がある。量を聞く限り、とても知識があるとは思えんぞ。
I'd like to think that Rena is smart enough to realize that this is more of a boom boom than a fire. I hope that Rena is aware of it. I mean, she's a smart cookie. Right? Oishi's back was covered with a cold sweat. He never even thought this would turn into such a serious matter. He didn't know how dangerous gasoline was. He didn't know because he never heard of cars exploding in car accidents. He knew it was dangerous, but he didn't know what it was capable of. Yeah, I 1983. I don't know how often like car-related accidents / terrorist attacks involving cars would happen during this time period in Japan, to be quite honest. Gasoline is more dangerous once it evaporates. Therefore, a burning car in an accident and gasoline fumes being ignited are at completely different levels. It's quite simple to understand if you think about how car engines work. Cars vaporize gasoline in a carburetor and let it explode in the engine cylinders. Yeah. In other words, that little explosion in the engine is what gives cars the powers to move. Therefore, if you want more power, an engine needs to be bigger to create a bigger explosion. So if an engine cylinder was the size of a classroom, how much power would it create? Anyone with knowledge of engines would know. But a lot of people don't consider how dangerous evaporated gasoline is, because it's too familiar. 25 hostages and 1 hostage taker. All 26 people were basically stuck in a huge bomb. Furthermore, the suspect might accidentally set it off. If she were to pretend to light the lighter as a threat, that would be the end. All the people around Oishi had gone pale, and the classroom might explode at any moment. How could they save all the hostages? Especially when the criminal was living in her own delusion, and her requests were something so unreal.
失礼します。先ほど受け取ったスクラップ帳の中に犯人からと思われる文書が見つかりました。
One of the policemen brought over a folded piece of paper. Oh? Oishi opened it while the others watched. Is it like the request? He saw girlish handwriting on the paper. He could tell this was written before she invaded the school. Dear Oishi-sama, if you are reading this letter, that means I'm at the final stage. I must have seized the school and held the students as hostages. I'm planning to appoint you as a negotiator, so please pretend to be threatened by me and become my contact with the outside. The first thing I want to tell you is that my enemy is the Sonozaki family, and also the aliens, who are pretending to be parasites that control the Sonozaki family. My god. No, not the Sonozakis or the freaking aliens. No.
宇宙人?
I didn't think you'd believe me if I brought up the aliens, so I didn't tell you about them until now. But when you read these scrapbooks, you will understand. The aliens came to Earth in UFOs in ancient times. They landed in Onigafuchi swamp. They used this village as their breeding grounds. And through that selective breeding, they widened their domain. They were successful, and now they are trying to invade the Earth.
なんだこりゃ。
All the other policemen frowned at the letter.
いやいや、驚きませんよ。高野の他のスクラップ帳も読みましたが、これに負けじを取らずの親切揃いです。個人的にはオッシーが面白かったな。
The Sonozaki family, as well as all the village authorities, had been brainwashed by the aliens. The villagers' attempts to revive the cult of Yashiro-sama were actually part of the alien strategy to invade the Earth. The aliens are very clever. They don't let people realize they're being controlled. The a.k.a. clinic must be their secret research. Yes! Please conduct an investigation and expose their secret. Also, please check out the bottom of the swamp. The UFO must be still there. Okay, I don't give a fuck about the aliens, UFOs or whatever. Go and research a.k.a. clinic. Like, that could be a very important place for you to find some good stuff there. That's my last standing remaining hope from all this. That we would find something from a.k.a. clinic. Also, capture all the relatives of the three families and take x-rays of their brains. you'll find hideous parasites inside of them. But please be careful. The aliens eliminate whoever finds out about them by replacing their host with a lookalike. That's how they have been controlling the village. Therefore, there may be already some aliens among the villagers. It is possible that they will try to interfere with the investigation. As a matter of fact, there have been lookalikes of Mio Takano, Rika Furude, and me, Rena Ryugu. If you see any of those three, capture them immediately. That will be the proof of aliens existing among us.
高野美代どうしてでしょうね。
ああ、あれだ。俺さ、彼女との電話で岐阜県警さんの検視で一日ズレがあったかもしれないですよって言っちゃったことがあったんですよ。
ああ、検視結果のミスの話ですか。
Mistake?
それで私、祭りの日には死んでたはずなのにどうしていたのかななんてことを言っちゃったんです。それをこういう風に解釈するとはな。ふざけ半分で脅しすぎたかな。
自分の名前が含まれてるのも奇妙ですね。鏡に映ったのでも見間違えたとか。
Okay. I like to think that the police didn't do like a fuck up on the autopsy report. I pray they didn't. Otherwise, the idea of like a fake body being used and Takano being out there, that will just completely ruin it, I think. So I like to think that the autopsy report is telling the truth and that Takano is still out there in the shadows. If not, then what am I supposed to conclude? That the police are incompetent yet again? That brings me nothing. He was one of the pair who searched the garbage dump that night.
これは俺、わかるわ。ほら、竜宮レナを探し回った晩、ゴグナで目撃されたって話があったでしょ。あれだよ。
Yeah, what is the deal with that one?
あれは多分、村人の誰かが流したデマなんだよ。で、それを本人がどこかで聞いて、自分がもう一人いるように錯覚した。
That might be it. Is it like the thing with the Sonozakis where the villagers would try to protect like the other villagers who they think may have killed somebody, so they're watching their backs? So some random villagers said, "Oh, Rena is in Gogura," just so that Rena would be safe from the police, when in actuality, like, it made things worse. It's similar to how we talked about it in chapter 5 with Shion's theory about how the villagers are protecting each other, and thus nobody knows the details.
くさったれ。ノストラダムスだっけ？あれの大予言と同じですね。何が起こっても予言に含まれるように解釈しちまう。今の竜宮レナは箸が転んだって宇宙人の仕業だって言い出すぞ。
あるいはいずれ捕まることを予見して精神鑑定で有利になる資料を先に用意したとか。
そんなことあの子は考えてないよ。あの子は本気で信じてる。いや、本気の本気で。コロッと生かされた私だからわかるんです。彼女は本気で信じてるんだ。
あ、まだ一枚あるっすよ。何々？
P.S. I was poisoned yesterday with the same stuff that killed Tomitake-san. I've been scratching my throat since then. I'll probably have clawed my throat open by tomorrow. If you can find the antidote when you investigate the idiot clinic, please bring it to me. Yes! Do that!
これは使えるな。
ですね。本気で宇宙人の話を真に受けてるなら解毒剤だと言えばうまく騙せるかも。
But you may not find the antidote, or maybe you'll be too late by the time you do. Therefore, considering the time I have left, I will set 7 p.m. tonight as the deadline. If an investigation doesn't take place and the antidote doesn't arrive by 7 p.m., I will choose to die with all the hostages by lighting the gasoline instead.
19時？今何時だ
？18時前です。
Days are long nowadays. It doesn't get dark even in the evenings. You probably start to get darker around 7 p.m.
あと1時間か。 いや、1時間を待たずに火遊びで大爆発するかも。
Okay, Oishi, please, I beg you right now. Like, don't think too much about the aliens. I don't even believe it in myself, but please investigate the clinic. Please.
くそ、どうすりゃいい。
何が地球侵略と戦うだ。それに人質を巻き込むなんてめちゃくちゃだ。
めちゃくちゃなんです。今の彼女にはまともな交渉なんか通用しない。しかも本人は冷静だと思ってる分だけ立ちが悪い。
おいさん、それより次の文章。
何？
I'm planning to spread gasoline throughout the classroom. I'm sure you realize how dangerous that is. If anyone suggests storming into the room, please tell them exactly how bad an idea that would be. Also, the hostages are anchored down with U-shaped bike locks. Even if those alien policemen rushed in and killed me, they have to cut each lock. But if you try cutting them, you might create sparks. Therefore, you need to completely ventilate the room first. In other words, it will take an extremely long time to rescue all the hostages from the classroom. Actually, I have a different explosive system set up, other than the gasoline I spread. It's a very simple time bomb using gasoline and a kitchen timer. The kitchen timer provides electricity at a set time. I ripped the tip of its plug, so it will create enough sparks to ignite the gasoline. Jesus Christ. I've always set the timer to 7 PM. Even if I'm not around, there will be an explosion at that time. If the classroom isn't ventilated by the time, it will explode too. I'm sorry to ask you like this, Oishi-san, but please help me so we can avoid a tragedy. Please let the three families know that Mion Sonzaki, the successor to the head of the Sonzaki family, and Rika Furude, a mascot for the cult of Oyashiro-sama, are in this classroom. If anyone from the three families helps you, I'm sure their conspiracy will be exposed by tonight. The alien invasion is going to happen very soon. Please get going quickly. To my ally, Oishi-san. Rena Ryugyu. Smash. Oishi threw the scrapbooks to the ground.
くそったり！何が味方だ！
キッチンタイマーって目覚まし時計みたいなもんですか？
ああ、昔の炊飯器とかにはタイマーがついてないものも多かったんですよ。それでね、コンセント穴のついたキッチンタイマーって名前の目覚まし時計がありましてね。そのコンセントに炊飯器を挿しておけば、仕掛けた時刻に自動的に電源が供給されて、指定時刻に炊飯器が電源オンにできるって代物です。
へえ、そりゃ便利そうですね。
確かにそれを流用すれば、時限発火装置なんて簡単にでっち上げられる。キッチンタイマーってあたりが女の子っぽくてなんだか複雑だな。
電力会社に頼んで電力を落とすとかはどうすかね。コード式なら電力がなければ無力化できます。ああ、でもダメか。教室が真っ暗になるのと同時にライターをつけるに決まってますよね。
やっぱり解毒剤の線をついて指向性の睡眠薬でも与えますか。指向性ですよ。多分自身に使う前に人質に試すはずです。注意してください。
了解です。手配します。
あと前原さんともう一度話したいな。
Oh man. They're gonna create their own antidote, like a sleeping pill kind of thing. You're not gonna go to the idiot clinic? Please?
竜宮レナが間違ってライターをいじらないようにうまくなだめてもらわないと。あと盗聴器もオフにさせないといけません。盗聴器はどう？面白いことは拾いましたか？
犯人が人質に危害を加えている模様です。
なんてこった。
どうも園崎ミオンに対してのようです。やめろレナ。
Rena kept hitting Mion, who had her hands tied behind her back. Rena wasn't using her fists, but instead the handle of her hatchet.
圭一君はそこの壁から動かない約束だよ。動いたらレナも怒るんだからね。
Rena's gaze intimidated me. Her eyes were full of madness. I could feel Rena's emotions boiling over on the inside. If I posed her, she would easily cut Mion's arms off.
とにかく私が許せなかったことは、みーちゃんが死体を掘り出して警察に売ったことだよ。
She didn't turn him into the police.
信じてたのに。信じてたのに！
Rena hit Mion's face over and over. It wasn't just Mion's hands that were tied behind her. Her neck was also tied to a window frame with a bike lock. So there was no way that Mion would protect her face. Jesus. I didn't know if her forehead was cut or if her nose was bleeding, but her face was covered in blood. Her blood got on the handle of the hatchet, and every time she got hit with it, more blood was smeared on her face. The handle of the hatchet could easily smash her forehead. Because of her position in the Sonzaki family, Mion couldn't say that she hid the bodies. So all she could do was endure. No! Tell Rena, goddammit! Stop it with the Sonozaki family bullcrap! However, Rena continued to attack her. Rena no longer had any restraint. She might even continue until Mion's front teeth were broken.
やめるんだ、レナ！ミオ、もういいだろ！俺が話す！本当のことを話すから！レナ！ミオを殴るのをやめるんだ！
本当のこと？
Mion, I beg you, don't be like in chapter 5. Tell the truth early. Just tell Rena exactly what you told Keiichi about the forestry service and that sort of stuff.
ってな、ケイイチ君。
ダメだよ、ケイちゃん。
クラスのみんな！今から言う話は頼む！聞かないでくれ！少し物騒な話をするかもしれないが、悪いことの話じゃないんだ。だから聞かないでくれ。耳に入っても忘れてくれ。頼む。
どういう話だろう。聞かせてくれるかな、ケイイチ君。
難しい話じゃないんだ。あれはお前のためだったんだよ。あの埋めた場所が今年の夏に営林署が伐採で立ち入ることになってたのを後日に知ったんだ。
There you go. Thank you, Keiichi.
だからあのままじゃまずいと思ってミオンがもっと別の安全な場所に隠してくれたんだよ。
その話はあの晩に聞いてるよ。そしてそんなのはみーちゃんの作った嘘だとも言わなかったっけ？
It's the truth!
なんで嘘なんかつかなきゃならないんだ。仲間を助けるのは当然じゃないか。だからミオンがお前を助けるためにやってくれたんだよ。
嘘だよ。嘘だよ。信じないよ。なら、なんでそんなことを私に相談せずにこっそりとやったの？
Why did Mion even have to tell her? Mion was trying to be delicate. Mion did her best trying to hide what Rena did. Mion knew Rena was at her wit's end, and that was why she did it in secret. But Rena didn't want to believe her.
違うよ、ケイイチ君。ケイイチ君まで騙すなんて。本当にみーちゃんは卑劣だね。部活で騙すのは許せるけど、仲間であるケイイチ君を騙すなんて許せない。許せない。許せない。許せない。
やめろ！ミオンを殴るな！ミオンは悪くない！
I never knew having your hands tied behind your back was that scary. Mion got hit repeatedly with the handle of the hatchet. She could only endure. She couldn't even protect herself with her hands.
ねえ、そうなのみーちゃん。そうならなんでそうだって私に話してくれなかったの？
ミオンに話せない理由は想像つくだろう。その先家のいろいろ都合があるんだよ。
Which really complicates things, as I always say.
それより気を使ってくれたことをお前が感謝すべきじゃないか。
I may have said it too aggressively. Rena turned around and glared at me.
そうだよ、ケイイチ君。園崎家の都合でみーちゃんは私を警察に売った。仲間の私を売った。仲間なのに、友達なのに、仲良しだったのに。ひどいよ、みーちゃん。本当に大好きな一番のお友達だったのに、どうして？ ひどいよ。
This was senseless. Rena cried as if being bullied, but she was the one doing the bullying. Normally, this would be so odd as to be impossible, but I had seen this scene before. Liked you. I trusted you. As I cried, I beat her to death. Rena repeatedly begged me to trust her, yet I beat her. I know what it's like to be the one doing the beating. Stop. Stop. Stop! Stop, Rena! Don't you realize what you're doing? You're hurting your friend with your own hands. I understand what you're feeling. I know you're sad, because your friend betrayed you, right? But that's a misunderstanding. We didn't betray you. We've been thinking about you all this time. But she just couldn't see that. Even if she died, Rena probably wouldn't realize she'd made a terrible mistake. But someday, you'll realize. Even an insensitive guy like me realized. So Rena would realize it for sure. And that's when you'll feel even sadder, Rena. You will remember this bloody meal on one day. And you realize that you were the one who made her bloody. And you regret what you did. Well, you mean in the hopes that in a different timeline in the future, Rena herself is gonna see her past mistakes in similar fashion to you and Rika? But I was the only one who could understand that, because I remembered. There was no way for Rena to understand or realize that. I wondered if I was suffering the most of all. There was no way to avoid a tragedy. This was exactly the same tragedy with different actors. The main character was Rena instead of me, but it was the same thing. Where was I? I was in the audience now. I knew how the story ended, but I couldn't come onto the stage.
やめろレナやめてくれやめてくれ
泣いてるの？どうしたの、ケイイチくん。
I stood up slowly and walked towards Rena, just like what Rena did for me before, with my arms open.
頼むからやめてくれやめるんだレナ今はどうしてかわからないかもしれないなぜやめなければならないのかでもやめないと絶対に後悔する日が来るからだからやめるんだ
ケイイチくん、壁に戻らないとレナは怒るよ。
Rena's eyes went cold, and she lifted the hatchet in her right hand.
やめな、ケイちゃん。私は大丈夫だから。
Mion told me, but with such a bloody face, how could she be?
レナはその名で俺を叩くのか
それ以上近づけばね。叩くよ。遠慮なくね。もうケイイチくんなんかいなくても最後までいけるんだよ。でも私はケイイチくんと最後まで一緒にいたい。だから私を怒らせないで。ね。
She sounded gentle, but her expression was telling me there really would be no hesitation. Rena would crack my head open with a hatchet immediately. But who cares?
レナはもし立場が逆だったら命を惜しむと思うか
当然だよ。相手が凶器を持ってたら怖いから逆らわないね。
嘘だな
I know. I know you're strong enough to give up your own life for the sake of your friend. It's my turn now. My turn to be strong.
俺もレナと同じだぜ仲間のためなら命なんて惜しくないレナが欲しいってなら俺の命だってくれてやるだからやめるんだ仲間を信じてるなら 仲間を傷つけるのをやめるんだ。その痛みは必ずレナを襲うから、だからやめるんだ。誰もレナを脅かしたりなんかしてない。みんながレナのためを思ってる。それを疑うな。頼むから信じてくれ。俺を信じろ。俺の頭を砕けば信じられるってんなら、そのナタを撃ち下ろせばいい。俺は防がねえからな。
近寄るな。それ以上近づけばライターを点火するよ。
Rena lifted the lighter overhead.
バカ野郎！てめえ、いつまで夢を見てんだ。自分でも分かってんだろ。悪い夢だって。誰かに覚ましてほしいって。だから俺が来た。俺が覚ましに来たんだ。
覚ますのは圭一君の方だよ。この村が奴らに侵略されていることがまだ信じられないの？あの時はちゃんと信じてくれたのに、また疑うの？また私を信じないの？
Rena opened the lid of the lighter. I could tell her fun was about to light it. Rena was prepared to die along with everyone else. Rena would die without knowing the truth. She would die believing it was the world that was crazy. She would die cursing everything in this world. God damn it. That was the storyline of this tragedy, wasn't it? This was a theater from hell. What an interesting script. Who wrote it? A devil? Shit. I won't let this happen. Don't underestimate Keiichi Maebara, the original main character. Don't think the same storyline will work again. I'll be taking over the script this time, and I'm going to destroy it. I won't let this bad ending take place. Alright? I'm going to destroy their expectations.
信じてねえのはレナの方だろうが。
Come on, Keiichi. Don't let this happen. Don't let another bad ending happen like right now. At least, not for a little bit longer. Hopefully.
今俺を信じろ。黙って俺を信じやがれ。それは絶対にレナのためになる。
Or who knows, maybe we are gonna get some happy ending right over here. Come on, Keiichi. I wanna believe in a happy ending for once.
前回の惨劇の主人公がそうだと言ってるんだよ。先代主人公の言うことをおとなしく聞きやがれ。
何を言ってるのかさっぱりだよ、圭一君。黙って俺を信じろ。信じてないのは圭一君の方だよ。どうして私を信じてくれないの？
やかましい！俺はお前が間違ってることを知ってるんだよ。お前の末路を知っていて、お前がする未来の後悔を全部知ってるんだよ。仲間を自らの手で殺し、それがどれほど罪深いことかに気づきもせずに生を終える。それがどんなに悲しいことか、お前にはわからないんだよ。
全然何を言ってるのかわからない。
My belief is this, Rena. Whether it's the aliens or government or the Sonzakis, whatever, a bad ending will always happen as long as there's mistrust. That's the core theme of this, like, theater stage, of this script that we keep going over and over. No matter how many times we are gonna repeat this, a bad end will happen because of mistrust. So, for once, can you please just calm down and listen to Keiichi right over here?
大丈夫なの、圭一君？
ああ、そうだな。何を言ってるかレナにはわからないだろうな。でも話してやる。
Like, I have no idea how this is gonna be fixed. Like, I hope that Keiichi has something to save Rena and the rest.
ある大バカ野郎の話を聞かせてやる。あるところに前原圭一っていう大バカがいたんだ。そいつはみんなと楽しく過ごす気に何の不満もなかったのに、ある日を境にほんの少し仲間を疑っちまうんだ。そして何もかもが疑わしく感じるようになってきて。
He didn't notice how worried his friends were, and he heard them repeatedly. How sorrowful. They trusted each other, but they couldn't let each other know. Can you believe something as stupid as that actually happened?
そして、俺は、お前とミオンを、なのにお前は最後の瞬間まで、私を信じてって言って、俺に殴り殺される最後の瞬間まで、頭をかばわなかった。かばおうとしなかった。最後まで俺を信じて、両手を差し出したままだったんだ。それがどれだけすげえことか、俺は気づきもせず、お前を殴り殺してしまったんだよ。それが、どれだけ罪深いことか、お前には想像なんかつかないだろうな。だから、俺は、俺の罪を滅ぼすために、レナを止めるんだ。
それ以上近寄ると、本当にライターを。
レナが命を懸けて俺を救おうとしてくれたように、今度は、俺がレナを救う。俺はレナがどんなに立派な最後を遂げたか、今でも覚えてるぜ。あの瞳には、自分が殺されるかもしれないなんて怯えは、わずかもなかった。
These words will reach him, she thought. These next words will make Keiichi-kun realize.
俺を信じろ、レナ
！That was when I hit my head with a hatchet. I crumpled down to the floor. She hit me with a handle, but my head was probably cut open. I felt the blood on my face.
かわいそうな圭一くん。それは圭一くんの意志じゃない。圭一くんの頭に寄生している奴らがコントロールしているだけなの。今に大石さんが治療する薬を見つけてきてくれるよ。そうなったら一番最初に飲ませて治療してあげるからね。そうしたらもう圭一くんは奴らの支配から逃れられる。レナの大好きだった圭一くんに戻れるんだよ。だからもう少し待っててね。辛いだろうけど、待っててね。
この、バカ野郎が
I heard a phone ringing in the teacher's office. When I listened to the phone ring for a while, I realized it was for her. When I tried to answer the phone in classroom, but she couldn't figure out how to transfer the call, so she decided to answer it in the teacher's office instead.
ちょっと、職員室に行ってくるね。その間に、誰も逃げちゃ嫌だよ。誰か一人でもいなくなってたら、みーちゃんが大変なことになっちゃうんだからね。
When I glared at everyone in the classroom, intimidating them, and then left. You know, with this moment happening right over here, it kind of reminds me of those times when I was thinking, okay, Rika surely has these kinds of weird powers to remember like past timelines. And I was thinking that maybe Rena has like some of that too, given the way that she was acting in the previous chapters. But go figure, it's quite the opposite. It's Keiichi who has this kind of weird power to see in the past and try to help Rena with that. Go figure. That was when I heard a honk from the outside. I remember the signal from earlier. Did Oishi-san want to get in touch with me? I bent down and put the receiver earphone in my ear.
聞こえますか？沖宮署の熊谷と申します。聞こえているなら咳払いをしてください。よかった。今から言うことをよく聞いてください。犯人が撒いたガソリンは極めて危険なものです。今教室内には気化したガソリンが充満して巨大な爆弾と同じことになっています。ですから竜宮さんを刺激しないようにし、間違ってもライターをいじらせないでください。さっきのような挑発行為は二度と慎むようお願いします。
盗聴器って嫌なもんだぜ。
気化ガソリンは わずかの火花でも着火する可能性があります。ですのでこの連絡を最後に盗聴器の電源を切ってください。これは万が一に備えてのことです。それから最後に重大な連絡があります。犯人は時限発火装置を仕掛けていると予告しています。
次元？なんだって？
キッチンタイマーを流用した時限発火装置で火花を起こすだけの単純なものですが、現在竜宮レナの要求する解毒剤と偽れる睡眠薬を準備中です。ですが残された時間が長くありません。予告ではタイマーの設定は午後7時。
I looked at the wall clock. It was 6:45 p.m. Shit. There were only 15 minutes left. I could hear Rena screaming into the phone.
いいえ、時間通りです。急いでくださいね、大石さん。1秒たりとも遅れることは許しません。
聞こえてると思いますが、竜宮レナはタイマーの設定延長には応じないようです。あと15分で本気で心中するつもりです。
I remember thinking the same way as Rena. After I killed Rena and Mio, I knew the police would come. I thought someone would solve the mystery after I was dead. If that's what Rena was thinking, then she had been planning to kill herself from the beginning.
それで俺にどうしろと？
睡眠薬がもうじき届きます。だが交渉中に爆発したら元も子もありません。あなたに時限発火装置を見つけ出して解除していただきたいのです。
よく映画で見るような赤と青のコードを切断するやつですか？
もっと簡単なものでしょう。犯人の予告によるならば、それは台所用のキッチンタイマーです。電池でなくコンセントに挿して動くタイプの目覚まし時計状のものと思われます。教室内のコンセントに何か刺さっていませんか？
There was one outlet in the back and another one at the front of the classroom. I checked, but I didn't see anything that was plugged in.
いや、教室内のコンセントには何も。
よその場所で発火しても確実性は低いでしょう。間違いなく教室内にあるはずです。
いや、多分ないぜ。廊下からコードが引かれてるのはレナが話してる電話だけだ。そのキッチンタイマーが電池式ってことはないのか？
電源を供給するタイプですのでコード型に違いありません。あるいは他の部屋ということはありませんか？
I mean, it is possible that Rena filled another room with gasoline as well, not just this room, so it could be possible.
その教室以外にもガソリンの充満した部屋があるとしたら、そちらの部屋に仕掛けられている可能性があります。
Pretty much.
学校中を調べろってことかよ。あと15分でか？くそ、俺は負傷中なんだぜ。
But if I stayed here, I'd die in 15 minutes. This wasn't a time to be pessimistic. This was probably my last chance to stop this tragedy from taking place. She spread the gasoline while I went out to deliver the scrapbooks, so she must have done it in a fairly short time. I really didn't think she had enough time to spread it anywhere else other than the classroom. Then where was the time bomb?
こちらも努力しています。ですから、そちらでもご協力をお願いします。以上です。質問がなければこれで更新を終了しますが、何かありますか？
特にない。あ、いや、一つある。
何でしょう？
大石の親父に言っといてくれ。よくも人の古傷をレナに話しやがったなって。もし俺が生きてここを出られたら、ぶん殴ってやるから覚悟しやがれって伝えといてくれ。
You know what? Fair.
ああ、2発殴るぜ。俺のことをレナに喋った分と、レナのことを俺に喋った分だ。
了解。大石さんも竜宮レナに踊らされたとだいぶへこんでます。きっと殴らせてくれますよ。以上でよろしいですか？
ああ、このおしゃべりだけで数分食っちまった。切るぜ。
ご無事を。
Click. Rena was still on the phone. Wish-san was definitely trying to stall her. From what I could hear, it sounded like he's telling her that they investigated the main Sonozaki residence and found something awful in their secret basement or something like that. Hey, if we went too far, Rena would believe everything again. Myung was going to get hit again for lying.
Keiichi.
Huh? Rika-chan and Satoko crawled up to me.
今の俺の無線聞いてたか？
トラップは私の先輩特許でしたよ。レナさんにお株を奪われるなんて、こんなの死んでも死にきれませんわ。
Satoko realized how serious the situation was as well. The lives of the hostages, including her own, were about to be taken. Traps. Satoko. I wonder if this kitchen timer is like battery powered or something like that. Maybe it is something that is not necessarily needed to be plugged somewhere, but it is hidden somewhere. It kind of makes me think. That ball that the kids couldn't find and they were asking Satoko about it. What if that ball was taken by Rena and hit the kitchen timer like inside it or something that would create like a spark? That way, like, it would set off inside that ball and it would explode the school. Maybe she hid it in that ball or something. Is it really necessary? I don't know, but I'm just gonna throw that idea out there. Yet she tried to remain strong.
サトコ、もし死んでもレナを恨まないでくれ。レナは病気なんだ。運悪く悲しい病気にかかっただけなんだ。
Yeah. For all the things that we went through in this, there's absolutely no reason for me to hate Rena, like whatsoever. Like neither of the kids whatsoever.
だってそうだろ。俺たちはあんなにも明るくて楽しい仲間だったレナをよく覚えてるだろ。
God damn it. I love you all so much. Jesus Christ, what a fucked up situation. Like this entire story is.
サトコ、僕はレナもみんなも素敵な仲間だと信じていますのですよ。
Damn right.
あんなミオンさんにあんな乱暴する人を仲間なんて認められますの？サトコだってわかるはずなのです。心の中の鬼が暴れ出してどんなに悲しくても抗えない時があるのを知っているはずなのです。
Satoko quietly hung her head. I didn't understand what Rika-chan was trying to say to Satoko, but maybe...
レナさんを信じてますわ。
偉いぞ、サトコ。
I hugged Satoko's head. Rika-chan's arms were tight, so she couldn't embrace Satoko, but she put her forehead closer to her embrace.
さて、世界最高のトラップ名人に聞くぜ。この部屋を爆破するにはどこに次元発火装置を仕掛ける？
お任せなさいませ。その装置はコンセントに繋がってなければいけませんのね。
ああ、そうだ。でもこの部屋とは限らないぞ。他の部屋にもガソリンが撒いてあって、そこに仕掛けてある可能性もある。
いいえ、そんな時間はなかったと思いますです。多分レナは教室のすぐ近くに隠してあったガソリンを持ってきてこの部屋に巻くくらいだったのですよ。
But what if it happened like before she started to take this classroom as hostage? Maybe she spread it in other rooms without us realizing.
そういやレナは昨夜俺と別れるとき明日の準備があるって言ってた気がするぜ。ってことは何かの仕掛けを昨夜のうちにしてあった可能性もあるな。
それだけのヒントで私はここに芋虫状態。なかなかに意地悪な難易度の爆弾探しゲームでございますわね。
サトコなら見つけられる。サトコに見つけられないなら俺にも無理だろうな。だから俺はサトコを信じて全部をかけるぜ。
サトコならできます。
レナを救うためにも見つけ出してほしいのです。
仕方ありませんわね。本気の私の前にはレナさんのトラップなんて問題にもならないことを証明して差し上げてみせましたよ。
さあ、もう一度聞くぜ。この部屋を爆発させるなら、次元発火装置をどこに仕掛ける？
Satoko grinned and then closed her eyes to concentrate. Alright, well, where would it be? If it's something unplugged, maybe I have something. If not...
なんですかあんたたちは。
どきたまえ。ここの責任者は誰だね。
Otaka? Several cars had arrived, producing several men. They weren't from the Okonomi station. One of the men was wearing a suit, despite the hot weather. He approached me, pushing Kumagai aside.
おや、これは。お久しぶりですね。県警本部の大高くんじゃありませんか。
What?
言葉を慎みたまえ。もう君に君と呼ばれる階級ではない。
The government!
何かご用ですかね。大高くん、今非常に立て込んでいます。まさか県警がこの現場を乗っ取ろうつもりで？誰の了解で？
私が許可した、大石君。
所長！
高杉君から事情は聞いている。君がまいた種だという話も聞いているぞ。君はもう下がって、あとは機動隊に任せるんだ。
Ooh, that's not gonna look good for Oishi. That he started all this? Ugh.
機動隊って。大高くん、あんたまさか吸収する気ですか？
But more importantly, the government?
危険は重々承知だ。だがもう爆発まで時間がない。君が時間を浪費しすぎたのだ。その尻拭いを我々がしようというんだ。君らは引き継いで後方に下がりたまえ。
I couldn't talk back if both the chief and a guy from the prefectural headquarters gave me an order.
おいさん、何者っすかあいつは。
大高くん。昔麻雀がくっそ弱いくせに生きがってたからちょいと叩き潰してやったことがありましてね。それともあれかな、剣道大会で偉そうにしてやがったから面食らわして失神させたのを根に持ってるのかな。
Obviously, we didn't get along.
大石君、現在の最新の状況を説明したまえ。
あんた本気で突入する気で？こっちはもうすぐ睡眠薬で穏便に決着がつけられそうなんだ。それをひっくり返す機会。
もう遅すぎる。あと1時間あったらその手も検討できたな。突入は府警の専門部隊が担当する。君はバックアップに回りたまえ。
所長、あんた分かってますよね。あの教室は今や巨大な爆弾なんです。だが一番恐ろしい爆弾は教室じゃない。犯人の竜宮レナ本人なんです。我々はようやくそれをなだめ、穏便に解決する手順を踏み、それを実行しようとしています。時間は確かにもう10分もない。でも必ず成功させてみせます。講習は私が自らやります。ダメなら私が粉々に吹っ飛んでおしまいです。所長たちは離れてそれを見てざまあみると思ってればいい。
大石君、府警の専門部隊はただの機動隊じゃないぞ。第二機動隊といえば君ほどの男なら噂くらい聞いてるだろ
う。The second company?
なんすか大石さん。第二機動隊って有名なんですか？
Yeah, what is that? Please tell me the details.
5年くらい前だっけ、空港の飛行機に犯人が立てこもった事件があったでしょう。あれをきっかけに東京と大阪にハイジャック専門の特殊部隊が組織されたって噂は聞いてましたがね。実在してましたか。
でもなんだって府警の機動隊がこんなところに。
Otaka smiled proudly.
たまたま 県警機動隊との交流訓練があってね、特別に応援を要請したのだよ。
相変わらずですね。話をすぐ派手にしたがるその癖は。
The company members exited the vehicles one after another and took position. Alright, well, this second company, this counter-terrorist unit, this Otaka, it is as close to what I'm thinking of as it can get. Like, when it comes to some forces, like behind the curtains, being responsible for this. They didn't move like policemen.
大高君、あんた学校で銃撃戦をやる気かい？一発で大爆発を起こすぞ。
安心したまえ。突入犯が使うのは火器じゃない。ボート鎮圧用のガス銃だ。高圧ガスで催涙ガスを噴出する。
Although I do have to wonder if these are the same people. If this has anything to do with those who have quote-unquote helped in chapter 3 and 4 when it comes to the tragedy. The people that came in.
何の問題もない。
When the tragedy happened.
へえ、そりゃ便利な水鉄砲があったもんで。ところでそのおもちゃは校庭を横断して教室まで届くほど便利なものなんで。
それは君が心配することではない。あとは我々に任せて下がりたまえ。
Oh, wait, what? Riot shields and riot guns. These guns send out tear gas at high pressures. There will be no issue with explosions. As I lifted my arms exaggeratedly, one elbow accidentally touched the car horn, which honked. Uh-oh. Of course, I did that on purpose. Oh, okay.
今のは前原圭一を呼び出すサインですか？
ねえ、そうです。前原君が気づいてくれるのに祈るし。
今さら彼に何を？
連中は多分グレネードか何かでガラスをぶち抜いてガス弾を教室に撃ち込んでその隙に突入しようってつもりでしょう。連中は竜宮レナを甘く見てる。彼女は本気だ。ガラスの割れる音でもライターをためらわず点火する。
特殊部隊には制圧できないってことですか？
できないに決まってるだろう。だから今まで慎重にやってきたんじゃないの。竜宮レナは初めから死ぬつもりなんだよ。命が惜しくない奴に突入なんて意味がないんだよ。前原さんしかいない。
おいさん、繋がりました。
もしもし、大石です。聞こえてたら咳払いお願いします。緊急の話があります。聞いてください。
どうせ悪い話だろ。
悔しいですが、県警が介入してきて、お膳立てをひっくり返すつもりです。
Yeah. Now we may have like even shorter time here.
特殊部隊が校舎に突入しようとしています。
Maybe we could use it to our advantage though? I don't know.
おいおい、護身用スプレーでひるませてもその1秒で点火されちまうってんで、俺はずっと抑えてきたんだぜ。突入なんてそんなの無理に決まってるだろ。
県警は竜宮さんがすでに死ぬ気であることを理解していません。ライターは脅しで点火するわけないと鷹をくくっています。多分5分以内に突入するでしょう。突入する前になんとか竜宮レナからライターを奪ってください。
それは次元発火装置を何とかしろというオーダーに追加で？
ねえ、そうです。
マジかよ。あと5分でレナからライターを奪って次元発火装置もどうにか。
One of the most extreme mission that Keiichi has ever faced up until this point. You're really giving us quite a mission here.
やってくれるぜ。
あなただけが頼りなんです。頼みます。
どうですか、サトコ。思いつきますですか？1階の廊下だけが知りたいんですの。そこにあるかないか。レナさんの行動パターンから考えて、1階ならあそこ、2階ならあそこ。
1階の廊下をコードが横断してないかざっと見ればいいんだな。
多分、あるはず。普段のレナさんなら断言できますけど、今のレナさんはノイズだらけで行動パターンが読み切れませんわ。
よし、任せろ。なんと、もう悩むにも時間が足りねえよ。最後の2択は、俺が直接探る。
Alright, let's go. I don't want another tragedy. You demons down in hell. I bet you're just waiting for an amusing ending to unfold while eating some popcorn. I won't let that happen. I'm going to change everything. And then I'm going to make you pick up your popcorn off the floor. I spoke to Rena as she continued on with her story about the aliens.
何？どうしたの、ケイチ君。
いや、今、音が聞こえなかったか？
Rena went quiet and looked around. Rena had become totally paranoid about everything. Once she became worried, she couldn't ignore it.
本当に？ケイチ君。
ああ、聞き間違いじゃない。
Yeah, man. The Higurashis. I knew she'd want to check it herself. I mean, have you never thought about those theories of how the parasite could come in, not through liquids and such, but through sounds and visuals? More specifically, sounds. I've heard of this theory that the parasite could come through sounds from somewhere. That they could come inside your body through sounds, just like that. That the waves, the sound waves are what create these weird patterns in your mind that will make you go crazy. And I was thinking, what could it be? It could be from the Higurashis. The Higurashis are the aliens, Rena! But she really couldn't leave the room for something like that. So in that case, she'd have to ask me to check for her. Rena must have been thinking the same thing.
ケイチ君。見てきて。
Rena gave me an order with a fake smile on her lips.
ああ、わかった。
Right on. Rena watched me go out into the hallway. As I did, she spoke to me.
レナを怒らせちゃ嫌だよ。
信用しろ。俺はレナの仲間だ。
うん。信じるよ。信じるから。裏切っちゃ嫌だからね。
After being freed from Rena, I looked for a cord in a hurry. I didn't even have 5 minutes. The office probably had more outlets than anywhere else. I headed for the teacher's office. Shit. Where were the outlets? Unlike light switches, outlets couldn't always be found near entrances. Damn it. Why did the clock in the teacher's office have to make such a loud ticking noise? The clock?
大丈夫なのですよ。ケイチならきっと見つけてくれますのです。レナさんならいつものレナさんより疑り深いレナさんならどこにどう仕掛けますの？この程度がわからなくてレナさんのトラップで最後なんて北条聡子一生の恥ですわ。
なんだこれ。
I saw a plug inserted into the unit under the principal's desk. And I also saw a cord extending under the door to the reception room. There shouldn't have been any reason why a cord had to be extended into that room. The reception room had an outlet of its own. I tipped over to the reception room and opened the door. Squeak. The door squeaked as I cracked it open a little. I poked my head inside the reception room. I saw the suspicious cord crossing the room and extending under the door to the hallway. I followed the cord through the reception room. I opened the door to the hallway, and the cord was extending into the storage closet. The storage closet was used to hold cleaning chemicals. I could smell them from here. Okay. The cord was extending into there. I carefully opened the door and turned the light on. The cord was attached to another extension cord, and there was an alarm clock that didn't belong in there. Okay.
見つけた!
The time bomb. So all I'd have to do was to unplug the cord. Okay. I picked up the alarm clock. He looked like a normal alarm clock. Actually, he was a normal alarm clock. I remembered Kumagai calling it a kitchen timer. He said it was a bit like an alarm clock. But this wasn't a bit like an alarm clock. It was an alarm clock. Wait, didn't alarm clocks use batteries? This alarm clock was a battery-operated one too. I looked at the extension cord. There was nothing plugged into it. Eh? What was this extension cord for? Why was this extending all the way from the teacher's office?
いけないケイチさん逃げて
サトコ
Huh?
それは違うんですの騙された
A black shadow was covering me. I felt my body freeze. It was so frozen that I felt it was about to crack. I turned around slowly and saw someone holding a hatchet above their head. Bad ending? I dropped the alarm clock. It made a noise as it hit the ground.
どうして圭一くんは延長コードをたどって目覚まし時計なんか持ってるのかな
We just wanted to know what the time is. All the cells in my body were frozen. This was Rena's trap. Rena was suspicious of everyone, including me. This whole time, she thought there was someone connected to the people outside. This was a trap to lure the person out. Only the people outside knew about the time bomb. I was told about the whole thing, and so I followed the extension cord and picked up the alarm clock. How stupid of me.
待てレナ
圭一くんのこと信じてたのにひどいよ圭一くん
Rena hit me with the backside of the hatchet earlier. It was painful, but it didn't kill me. But this time, she was holding the hatchet the right way. It wouldn't just crack my forehead. It would split my entire head open. Rena lifted the hatchet mercilessly. She moved slowly, as if everything was in slow motion. She looked almost divine. Maybe it really was holy. I was praying after all. Praying? What was I praying for? I was praying for my life. Yes! It was so sudden, I couldn't tell what happened. Rika-chan had jumped onto Rena from behind. I didn't know what kind of weapon Rika-chan used, but Rena started moaning. It clearly hurt. Yes! That brought me back to reality. I couldn't just watch them. I had to get the letter from Rena.
力ずくでなら勝てると思うんじゃねえ
Get the lighter! Rena knew I was after the lighter. She closed her fingers around it tightly. Rika-chan was grabbing onto the arm Rena was holding the hatchet in. I wanted to tell her to run, but thanks to Rika-chan, I could use both of my hands to get at the lighter. The lighter flew out of Rena's hand. Oh no! He hit the hallway wall and dropped down the floor. I picked it up. At the same moment I did, Rena managed to shake off Rika-chan. There's our chance. I turned in Satoko's direction. Hold on a second. I need to do this right. I mean, my gut instinct would be like it would be the second one. I think it was top and then bottom. Like I said so like last time. Come on. Which one is it? Why do you have to make me choose at this time? I have to choose this like correctly. Okay, it has to be the second one. Let's go! Damn right you did. I heard Satoko screaming from the classroom. like I figured out where Rena hid the time bomb. I wanted to catch Rena, but I didn't have time for that. I had to do something about the time bomb instead.
圭一、早く聡子のところへ行くのです。
Right. Rika-chan had spread her arms, blocking Rena's path forward.
バカなことはやめて逃げろ。
圭一、これは初めてではないのですよ。覚えていないのですか？
え？
前の時、僕にあとわずかの頑張りがあれば、圭一は間に合ったのです。
Oh, I believe you. I believe that you more than likely have gone through this. But now you have more hope. So you can do this, Rika.
今度こそ間に合わせる。だから言ってなのです。
I didn't know what Rika-chan was talking about. But there was one thing I did know. Just like Rena and Mion were ready to give up their lives for their friends, and I was willing to give up mine, Rika-chan was prepared for that too. Therefore, telling Rika-chan to run was like telling her she wasn't my friend. And so, I will depend on my friend, Rika-chan.
すまん、リカちゃん。
圭一さん、もう時間が。
Leaving it to Rika-chan, I dashed for the classroom! As soon as Rika heard Keiichi's footsteps reach the classroom door, she sighed in relief. As she did, Rena's black shadow came ever closer.
すごいよすごいよ。これは部活じゃないんだよ。リカちゃんは殺されちゃうよ。怒ったレナにきっと殺されちゃう。へえ、私が怖くないんだ。リカちゃんすごいよ。
Rika grabbed a mop as she ran from the storage closet. She picked it up and held it upside down, like a spear. Rika stands told Rena that she was ready to fight. Heck yeah! Rika didn't look like a little girl anymore. She looked so brave that Rena was even startled by it.
すごいね。
Yeah, don't fuck with Rika. I said before, she has gone through plenty of timelines. Maybe she picked up like martial arts or something.
殺されるのが怖くないんだ。
Rika smiled cynically. Rika usually never smiled this way.
この私が死を恐れるとでも。幾百の死の山脈を越えてきたこの私が今さら何を恐れるというのか。
君、リカちゃんじゃないね。あの夜に出会ったリカちゃんもどきの方だね。正体を表したな、宇宙人め。
Oh, she is beyond alien, for sure.
本物のリカちゃんをどこへやった？
本物のリカ、ここにいるわよ。
みぱー。
ああ、その小バカにしたところは間違いなくリカちゃんだね。そう、お社様は宇宙人だった。フルデ家はその末裔で宇宙人の直系の一族だもんね。脳みそを叩き割って中の寄生虫を引きずり出してやるからね。
Rena raised her hatchet and charged at Rika with a scream.
一撃で叩き割ってあげるよ。
Rena looked like a beast charging towards its prey. Rika took a step backwards and lowered her body, preparing to counterattack. She did that with no hesitation.
あいにくね。1分も稼げれば十分なの。遊んであげるわ。おいで、ナタ女。
いいですの、圭一さん。
Ah, damn!
すべてのヒントと答えはもう朝の時にありましたの。
落ち着け、サトコ。俺に分かるように話せ。つまり、どういうことなんだ？
It's simple if you just remember. Come on, it's quite obvious when you do.
ねえ、今日は臭い。窓閉めて。
バーカ。窓を閉めたらもっと暑くなるんだよ。
Okay. We have been smelling gasoline coming from outdoors. There were no forestry service people in the office. so they weren't doing any work today. The smell wasn't coming from anything they were doing. In other words, it was the smell of Rena's gasoline. Rena hid the gasoline near the classroom. She had it in a plastic container. You can't smell gasoline that's in a plastic container. So in other words, she had more gasoline ready than just in the container she used to spread it around the classroom. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, but... So? Where was the smell coming from? Was it coming from outside? Vaporized gasoline is heavier than air. It sinks. There was another hint other than that.
あれ俺たちのボールがね北条お前がまた隠したんだろ
誰がそんなものを隠しますの？どうせ隠すならもう少し気の利いたものを隠しましたよ。
Is it true? Did she hide the timer laying inside the ball, as I said? Kids who love to play with their ball and never lose it. It should have been in the same place it always was. But it was gone. So that must mean that Rena used it for something. Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. The gasoline was coming from above. A ball was missing. So maybe it was stuffed somewhere.
レナさんは雨どいの出口をボールで詰めて雨どいいっぱいにガソリンを注いだんですの。
Oh!
どこから？ 2階の屋根の上からですのよ。
The drain canal extended along the roof of the second floor, and then came straight down to the ground. If it was plugged and filled with gasoline, it was like a huge Molotov cocktail that extended from the ground to the roof of the second floor. Furthermore, the drain canal ran by the classroom windows.